volumizing the skull, you can volumize the gluteus maximus here and the gluteus minimus. Don't forget the minimus because that sits right up here on top of the maximus, and it's actually what creates that V shape. Okay, when you get a nice strong looking glute, it's because of the minimus, the gluteus minimus that sits on top of here. Let's see. It actually spirals around, makes a nice round formation all the way up to the top of the hip here. So all of this looks, when it's shaped more like this, it looks a little more feminine. So go ahead and bring some of that out to create a nice strong buttock area. Pull this out. And then where it all attaches in the center is at the top of it's called the head of the greater trochanter here, which is a knob at the top of the leg bone, and that's what gives that indentation right about in the center here. Pull that in. Begin to see the definition there. This one also. Okay. You can begin to see that shape of the gluteus minimus. Alright. Now, females, especially athletic females, also have protruding gluteus minimus, so you want to take that into account when you're developing your character. But on a very feminine character, you'll minimize the minimus, and if you want to give a J-Lo appearance, then you'll come in here and give a little bit more rounded gluteus maximus. Alright. Okay, so that's a little troubleshooting on your base mesh. This might be a little low, you need to check that. This probably needs to go up just a little bit more. That's a little better. Check the position on that. Apart just a little bit so it doesn't play so much with your light. Concave there. Alright, I think that pretty much describes what we want to accomplish here. To start with, and the additional detail I'll describe that a little bit more with shadow. Okay. But again, the pectoral muscle is actually a very flat muscle coming across there, so give it just enough to indicate that it's there, but I wouldn't go overboard, because then it becomes too rounded, too much shadow under there, and it looks more like a feminine breast rather than a male breast. Okay. Alright, so Okay, here, work this just a little bit more. Make sure you're maintaining this nice curvature here of the peck. I see an edge. Okay. Oh. Just keep smoothing those and making sure they're as close relationship to one another. Get nice smooth edge loops going on. This area in here is going to give you some trouble. Let's bring that on down. Just give you this is where that muscle comes out and around, so you want to make sure to give yourself enough geometry to portray that accurately. May want to opt for another edge loop in there. So this is a little light in here. But I'll let you make that decision. But remind, I'd put another edge loop right in here, all the way around, so you get a little more definition rather than a point in here, and clean out some of these triangles. Another reason I put that one in there is to help define that ridge, the high ridge that comes down and around here for the breast. Okay. Solving problem. All right. Okay. All right. So I hope that helps you understand a little bit more about troubleshooting. You can come in here and find those landmarks. The bony landmark back here, very powerful in the back. The gluteus maximus comes up and around, and you'll find the base of the spine really flat against here. It's triangular shape, and then this big long muscle comes all the way down here, and that's a high point. And actually the inside, the close to the spine, is actually the low point back here, and as it wraps up and around, the spine becomes the high point, and then you get all the beautiful muscles back in here. And I'll let you study your anatomy and go ahead and find those in your high resolution as you begin to sculpt your muscles in Mudbox, and just have fun with it. Save this as an OBJ and open that in Mudbox, and there are tutorials, lots of them, for getting started, all the tools available in Mudbox. So I would say go ahead and make that jump here real soon after you clean up your mesh and rework some of the areas that we talked about. But we have probably a little over an hour here. All of this in here, you can give yourself a few more edge loops in there. Use Flow Connect because it will give you, it'll respect the curvature of your mesh, and it'll pull those out and make them look less flat just by using that tool. Okay, so I'm going to leave this in here for you to study where I put the edge loops, and I hope that helps. Let me know if you need any additional help.